Hi, my name is Johansen. I'm the diving coach at Indiana University, and today we're going to talk about the progressions of learning the rip entry. We have 2012 Olympic bronze medalist Nick McCrory here to help demonstrate some of the drills that you can do right on your pool deck at home. So Nick, let's start by, there are two components to the rip entry. There's the above water, and then there's the below water. So what we do on the pool deck is we practice our above water position, the shape that you want to be in when you hit the water for an entry. So Nick is going to start by standing up and putting his flat hand against the wall forward. Step back a little further there, Nick. And we're going to get his head in between his arms, looking up towards his hand, and we want to see a nice hollow body. And we practice it this way, standing up first to protect the wrists for the athlete that might not have the strength in their wrist yet, and to just get into their shape comfortably. Nick's doing a great job there. So then from there, the next step is to turn them around and put them on their hands. So Nick, if you can get up into an arm stand for us. He's going to get his feet against the wall. Walk forward a little more there, Nick. There you go. And we're going to get into that same position with his head between his arms, hands as close together as possible. And he's going to work from the short side. If you notice Nick's body, his legs, his torso are all on the short side of vertical, and the only thing we see on vertical at impact is the arm. All right, Nick, great, thank you. When you do this drill, I do it in small numbers and short periods of times as the athlete builds the strength in their wrist. And that's it for the dry land portion of the entry. We're going to move over to the 1 meter now. All right, we're here at Indiana University with Nick McCrory. We're moving on to the 1 meter to go through our progressions for the front entry. We've practiced a number of times on the dry land, the shape above water that we want to achieve, and now we're going to try to move it into the water. The goal here is to just get the athlete hitting the water with the right shape, and we want them to take that dive down and have a slow roll underwater to protect their back from getting injured. And then as they do that, we'll move through the progressions that will develop the rip. So Nick, the first thing we want to do is just start all the way on the end, grabbing your hand, and just do a pop-up front dive straight right into the water. That was a pretty good rip. So what I'm going to ask Nick to do now is to go through the progressions that get us there. Nick, that was 10-point rip. Now on this next one, all I want you to do, practice that same shape and just do our swim and let your body go down a little deeper and then the slow roll. What we're going to do when Nick does that swim, we're looking for him to get his hands even with his shoulders, elbows straight, before his feet go underwater. And that's what will create those swim bubbles coming up at the right time. So Nick, we're just going to practice the swim and have a nice late pike save on it. Good. We saw a nice fast swim with straight elbows. His pike save happened a little bit later. And what we're trying to do here is the thing that creates a splash is the air that the diver's taking into the water with them. And if that air goes straight down and pushes straight back up, it's going to make the water come back up. And that's what creates the splash. So by swimming the hands out to the side, we're moving some of the air out of the way. And then by doing our pike save, we're catching that air as we roll around. With the young athlete, the first thing you need to do is practice the above water shape. When they get good at that, you work on the swim with a nice late pike save, but be sure they pike save every time so we don't scoop and hurt our backs. And then finally, you start asking the athlete to pike save a little earlier, and that'll really create the hard rip. So Nick will do one more for us. Give us the nice hard pike save from the waist, Nick. There you go. 10-point rip. Nick McCrory, go Hoosiers. Thanks, Nick.